long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
You like me because I'm a scoundrel. There aren't enough scoundrels in your life.
I happen to like nice men.
Nice man.
Very nice.
So yesterday was the earnings call for Disney, and Iger called it epic. We're like, okay, what it looks like to me is that they're consolidating a lot of things to engender income to keep the price of the stock up, and it's actually just hovering under $100 a share now, which is way better than it used to be. But there were something missing. There were two things missing, actually. He didn't mention Andor, and the rumor is they wrapped production for that show, but they didn't mention another show, one that the shills want really bad, and that's the Rey movie. And I have to say that I was stunned because he mentioned, this is what he mentioned for Star Wars. He mentioned Skeleton Crew, which I kind of can't wait for. And he mentioned The Acolyte, which is a completely different story in of itself. I don't know how they're going to present it, because what we were told, what Kamran was told, and others, there isn't a complete show. It might be just one, 20-minute whatever. It could be a 3-part mini-series thing. I don't know. But Iger mentioned The Acolyte. He mentioned also the Mandalorian movie. But the reason why you see Charmin here is because he did not mention the Rey movie at all. And it is off the 2026-2025 slate. Now, there are some people who want to think that, it could show up on 2025. Yeah. But no, it's not going to, because they're not going to make a Rey movie. And I think Daisy knew this and has known for a long time that there is no Rey movie. And it's something very strange, in my opinion, that's going on with the shills right now for the sequel trilogy. It's like they got whipped up to demand either remembering the sequel trilogy or are demanding this movie. And there is no demand beyond, a bot army and the shills on X.
I thought one just drew a pentagram on the floor and chanted, "I summon thee" 3 times.
Baze, fuck you. War.
Urinal cakes? I don't believe this. All these years, the doyenne of Seattle's elite, looking down her nose at everyone in sight. She owes it all to this. She's managed to have her urinal cake and eat it too.
As I think we now have what's known in the legal profession as a bargaining chip.
Oh, are you kidding? She'd give any...
Hello, Marta. Like to speak to Maris. Oh, why not? Ah. She's in the final level of her guru's serenity training, the week-long vow of silence. Day 6. No, Marta, that's all right. She doesn't have to come to the phone. Just give her this message. I've flushed out her family secret. Hello, Maris.
I can't believe this. You're actually kicking me out?
Do you want me to draw you a picture?
We'd be here all night.
Get out!
So, the earnings call revealed, I think, quite a bit of confirmation about where Lucasfilm's at with the direction they're going. What was very strange, like I said, is that word is Andor Season 2 wrapped filming. He didn't say a word about it. But Iger mentions The Acolyte. He completely disregarded the Rey movie. For obvious reasons, there is no Rey movie. But he mentions Favreau and Filoni's Mandalorian movie. He mentioned Skeleton Crew. Didn't mention Ahsoka Season 2, but they're redoing the scripts. So, what's going on here is a settling of accounts in some ways. Again, I'm going to say this. No one knows what the Acolyte is. He mentioned it, but what is it? Did she film enough for a pilot? Did she film enough for a couple episodes and Favreau had to fill in the blanks? From what we've been told, Favreau basically said what he saw was the worst fan film he's ever seen. So what exactly are they going to do with it? And you got to remember, there are sinister forces at work. And I'm not going to say who. When I found out who they were, I'm like, this is what these people do all day. It's mind-blowing to me. And someday this will all come out, okay? But I'm not going to be the one to out it. And the reason why is because, well, I don't want to be the one that has issues with these people because they're bad people. But again, if you look at Gina's lawsuit, Leslie Headland is mentioned on page 28 or 27. I have to go through it. I haven't yet. But there are probably other names that we should be familiarizing ourselves with. And, it proves to me that Kennedy is being ignored and is out, okay? It proves to me that a lot of what we've heard through Sparrow is accurate information. It proves to me that something's going on with the Acolyte that isn't kosher or normal. Or Iger would never have said anything. But again, he didn't say anything about Andor. He said nothing about Ahsoka 2, but we're going to get an Ahsoka 2. Why he never mentioned Andor, I don't know. He didn't even mention it was on the slate for 2025. All right, so what's going on? Meanwhile, the trolls, SJW trolls, the sequel trilogy shills are freaking out and trolling everywhere they can. Yet, they don't have any power anymore, all right? They can go and bother somebody on X. All you gotta do is block them. They can go and bother you in a live chat. Just block them, okay? They're pretty much the ones, at least in Lucasfilm, have been shut out of any say in the creative direction, okay? And the behavior is pathetic, but it's also not the behavior of normal people, I've got to say. What What does all this do for Bob Iger? Well, Bob Iger's got options now. He's basically said through omission, we're not making the Ray movie. All right. He also, of course, did not mention the Gina Carano lawsuit. But Iger knows how to handle creatives. He knows how to do this. And what I'm going to do is put out a theory that if Iger has a statement out there that Gina Carano has been rehired, and I think basically there's an unsaid statement about that, and it becomes public, it gets in the trade rags and everything, that'll be the signal that Kennedy really is gone. Okay, because there's no way, like I said, Gina Carano would ever come back if Kathleen was still there. Okay. And to me, that's what I'm waiting for. Okay. It looks like things are accelerating. We could go for 2 weeks without any news and then have another bombardment of stuff. I'm not sure. But the earnings call, again, was interesting for what was said and what was omitted. Okay. Personally, I don't want to see the Acolyte, but if Favreau could go in there and at least make it presentable for Disney Plus and just get it out of his hair, that's fine. But we have to see where it goes. Okay, we don't know what it is. And I mean, the fact of the matter is there's a lawsuit with that too. And we have not heard bubkiss about the Karen McCarthy issues, okay? The last time we heard, it looked to be that Disney was stonewalling the thing because there's no money to pay her, okay? No money at all. And again, if you look at these lawsuits, it all falls on Iger's shoulders. And, he could call things about what's going on with ESPN Epic. That's in the mind of the investors. And does it really save him from the wrath of Peltz and Russillo, and maybe Lucas? And I said yesterday that because we've got pictures of Peltz and Elon partying, would they be up to a hostile takeover? Okay, would they be up to a hostile takeover? They could. I mean, look, nothing is off the table, okay, as far as the proxy war, as far as Iger trying to defend himself. And, there was a very rosy outlook. Okay, I'm going to say that right now. Very rosy, but still, okay, I don't know. It's one of those things where you're like, do we actually buy the optimism here? All right, or is he just trying to stave off Peltz by talking about things that make it all look better than it is? I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, like I said, he said things and he omitted things, okay? And it's not just the Ray movies never happening. It's that he omitted things about the financials that aren't good. In other things, okay, he didn't talk about, a year ago May's closing, or a year ago September's shutting down of the Star Cruiser Hotel. Okay, and there's a rumor out there construction's happening there. We don't know what that means. Anyway, I want to talk about the Ray movie and talk a little more about the other things that were going on. It was a decent earnings report that's really, the best that he could do. And that's all we can really say. So you guys have a good afternoon, good day. If more happens, I'll go live. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.